Welcome to the Healing Broken Families podcast, where we discuss narcissism, divorce, high conflict relationships, all through the beautiful lens of healing. I'm so delighted to be inviting back once again relationship coach Andre Paradis.
Well,
Welcome, Andre.
good morning, darling.
Good morning. It's great to see you from LA, and I'm so excited that we're going to be chatting about online dating today.
Yes. Oh, good Lord. If people will be triggered, they're gonna be they're gonna be triggered. Most likely, I don't want to trigger anybody. It's just that what I talk about is so like unpopular, it's seemingly old school, passe. Yeah, not so much in the end, it turns out. So bring it.
Well, all right, awesome. Well, I think it's going to be amazing to see the contrast in what you have to say, and I hope it's disruptive and
Oh, absolutely.
fun.
My favorite word.
Okay, great. Because I think this is a really relevant topic because a lot of women and men engage in online dating. So let me just begin by broadly painting a picture for you, Andre. So we've been divorced, maybe it was a high conflict relationship, or and we're just getting ready to
Mhm.
dip our toes back in the dating pool.
Yes.
And wham, there's the dating app. And here we go, online dating. It could be so exciting.
Yes.
Ah, should we do it? Should I do it? I'm clearing my throat. I'm like kind of sweating. I'm about to hop on to this virtual world.
Yeah, and possibilities and thousands of people access to. I get it. It sounds like such a great setup, right? Like, ooh, the modern way to not waste your time and not have to travel anywhere to meet somebody. You can meet them online. I see the
Yeah.
I see the attraction. I mean, it sounds fantastic.
Mhm.
However, boom, boom, boom. But
Now
I
when I
want to go ahead.
what I when I hear the however, I know there's a hook, so let me pull it. I'll pull it with a question. Do you think, online dating holds promise for women and men? Is it does it work, for example?
It worked for some, and I have people that say, "What are you talking about? You don't believe in apps?" That's how me and her met. I says, "When was this?" Well, it was 10 years ago, right? So there's a before and there's an evolution within that world. First of all, that I saw. Do you know what I mean? Like, not this stuff is not my opinion as much as just is the data. So in the beginning of dating apps, back in the days, in the 90s plus, there was no algorithm, there was no computers feeding you profiles. It was actually people clicking like on Craigslist. You click on something and you get to the ad. Do you know what I mean? Like it was kind of one-on-one type thing. There was a database, but you went and clicked on it. It was you doing it and them doing it back to you. Not algorithms, not computers throwing you profiles, not right. And so that's step one. So do people meet online? Yes. The percentage, I don't have data on this, but from my personal, if I look at my clients and their their success rate, it's pretty much nothing. And there's a good reason for that. And in my world, you know, hiding behind a computer screens, I'm just going to say this, or operating behind a computer screens is not coming from a place of being necessarily masculine or uh, productive and or um, assertive, right? It's very, very passive, right? It's like looking through a window and window shopping, right? You're not doing anything. You're not actually in the mall. You're actually looking through the window of what's possible. Do you know what I mean? This is what this is a more feminine approach to life, like sort of checking everything out, kind of thing, right? Asserting a man. If you look at the metaphor of shopping, a woman can spend the afternoon in the mall sorting through every rack of everything, even if even if the rack is like extra large, she's just small, because there's always this chance that somebody made a mistake and put a small in the wrong place, and then you just gotta A bonus, like, so the seeking out, the gathering brain, the connecting, right? That's so a woman can spend an afternoon in the mall shopping, putzing around, and actually feeling completely great and feminine about this because it's actually what the gatherer does. It lines up with physiology, right? Man, have you ever seen a man go shopping?
Mhm.
He
Not
parks, he
yeah.
walks, he parks, he walks, he goes to the store, he buys the shoes or the pants, and he leaves. You know what I mean? That's how men shop. This is how men do everything typically, right? Masculine ones. This most feminine or more feminine, and they do more of the I don't know, maybe let me see. They're less decisive. They're more on the fence. They have to see how they feel about it, right? Not very masculine. So we know that we both have masculine and feminine inside of us. But if we go back to stereotypes, and people hate stereotypes because they think it's putting people in boxes, limiting and judgmental, it's not. It's just is. There is such a thing as the way men do things, and there's such a way that women do things. It's different. And there's somewhere in the middle, I get it, but as a rule, 80%, we have streaks inside of us. The men do 80% about the same thing, to the same situation, reacting to the same situation. Same with ladies. And it's 20% that don't fit anywhere. Fine. But again, what if we go with what's the norm, right, which is 80% of people, men, I'm going to say this, men don't shop online. This is why it's a disaster.
Well, yet there are a lot of men, looking online. So what's coming up in my mind are if women are gatherers, are men hunters? Like, are they hunting on these online dating systems? Because there are a lot of them doing something. If they're not shopping for women online, what are they doing?
Well, what happened is interesting. Again, there's no real interaction right behind the screen. There's no it's the concept of window shopping. So men, this is interesting because now in my world I have to say this, right? When I say men, it doesn't mean a person with a penis. In my world, there's three types of men, right? There are boys, there are guys, and there are men. So when I mean men, I mean men, not boys, right? It's a different type person, even though they look the same, right? So temperamentally, they're different. So mama's boys are boys. Mama's boys don't act like men, don't behave like men, don't hunt like men. They're more interested in being comfortable and in having women take care of them and women chase them, right? That's what's online, not men. You have boys online. So you're shopping in the wrong pool. Are you with
That's
me?
Yeah, boom. I think you just like really hit on an important point there. So just you're finding boys online,
Yes.
these men that have not grown up, category type 1 of your 3 types of men.
Yeah, they're passive, they're feminine, they don't want to be competitive, they don't want to be rejected, they're afraid of being rejected, they're afraid of stepping up, they're afraid of asking you out. They talk, incessively, and they never do anything. Nothing ever happens. Women say this all the time, like, I get guys hitting on me all the time, and then we talk a couple of times, and then the email, and then they disappear. I'm like, yeah, because that's not that's not men. That's window shopping. That's what boys do, like women do. Right? That's a different type person. So boys, guys in the middle, I don't want to describe, but it's a version of that. Man, so what I'm telling you is this. Men don't do fucking dating apps. They
Real
just
men.
don't. Real man.
Mhm.
They don't do it. So if you're online, ladies, you're shopping with the boys. So basically a bunch of girls with penises who are sweet and sensitive and afraid and uncomfortable and insecure and have no mojo, they don't, right? And they're looking for women to baby them, take care of them, pay for them. And I have an example coming out my butt of this. So I think nobody needs to challenge me on this. This is the reality. Sometimes it works. Most of the time, I the majority of the time, it's the exact opposite. Get this, through COVID, the past couple of years, real man realized that the world was shut down, thought, hey, let me check this out. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like at least an access to, shopping, hunting appropriately or hunting a different way since you can't go face to face. And they all say the same thing. like one after the other. The ones that I talked to, the one that came to me, the one who said, "What the fuck is this?" Excuse my French, but right. But seriously, they go. I went out there to check it out. Right, access to thousands of women sounds, it sounds like efficient. Do you know what I mean? Except
Yeah.
they go, it's always the same shit, right? I go 5,000 women with the same profile and a picture that's, I can't trust because I dated four and the picture was nothing like the woman I got in front of me. 10 years too young, 30 pounds lighter, right? It's like, I'm not going to notice that, So they get instantly like feeling manipulated and conned, right? So, like, if I'm going to get dressed up, ask you out, drive to some venue, right? Go to the restaurant and decide to spend a couple hours with you, and you show up as a fraud, damn, like the insult, right? Like, what the hell are you thinking? So then, what I'm saying is, so men have tried that, right? So they come back with me with, first of all, like, these women are not what they claim to be, right? And besides, typically with the pictures anyway, and the other part of it is they all have the same damn profile. I have no different to make. There's no difference between like 5,000 of them. It's always like my friend would describe me as very lovely. I'm a nice person. I love the beach. I love my animals, right? And I love traveling. He goes, what the hell am I supposed to do with it, right? Like, so they're not telling me anything except they're lovely, right? Now, interesting, but masculine men, when they go profiling, they talk about their logistics of their life. I'm successful. Like, all right. So it's all logistical for men. For women, it's all how lovely they are. Interesting. Anyway, the boys are right in the Kool-Aid with like, sweet, sensitive, and I know how to treat a woman, and I'm a nice guy, right? So my point is, within 2 to 3 months, men who've tried dating online, men, real men, again, real men, the ones who actually like to build something with a woman and commit, these are real men, will say, this is bullshit. Because what they do is they want to go hunting, like if they decide they're looking for a woman, right? There's a decision, the decisive, with something boys aren't. Boys just paddle around trying to see the girl who's going to fall for their bullshit, right? Men who go, again, and they realize really quickly, like, the guy in Texas doesn't want to meet a chick in Florida. How do you date a chick in Florida? Right? So, man, the no nonsense of hunters, they stay local, they go live, and face to face. They go in the world hunting for women. Locally. Not that I want a girl 2 miles away, 22 hours away, or in a different state, a different country. I mean, it sounds amazing and exotic, but it doesn't work. That's not dating. That's fantasy role, right? So what they do is they go, forget this online bullshit, one after the other, the men, right? And they actually go step what they do. Right? Women are like, where are the good men? Well, they're everywhere, except, you have to notice that they're out there looking for you because everybody's stuck on their phone. Ladies, if you do this, right, the men that are looking are going, okay, she doesn't care. She's either not interested, you're already taken, or you don't care, right? Like you're completely not interested in meeting anybody. So you spend your time on your phone, which is automatic for most, at Starbucks, right? In line at Starbucks. Why are you on your phone at Starbucks in line? If you're trying to meet a guy, there's a guy behind you, a guy in front of you. Get off your phone. Here in California, we have car washes, right? Car washes, you give your car up and you get to sit in the front, outside typically, or in the waiting room for 45 minutes with nothing to do. Get off your phone, right? Look who's looking, because men are looking. Masculine men are always watching. Masculine men are always scanning the environment for the feminine. This is factual. This is a cavewoman. This is a caveman default system. Get this: men's eyeballs. This is factual. This is nature. Men's eyeballs are designed to scan and look for the feminine form in the world, everywhere, all the
Wow.
time. Right? It's an instinctual thing. Right? I could be holding my wife's hand, and we're married for 20 years, and I'm walking around and my eyes are scanning the environment for safety, right? For trouble, for what could be, right? That's why I put it on that side of the street. Like I'm always scanning for safety, and then I go, whoop, there's a Ferrari. Ah, Ferrari. I caught the Ferrari, right? I see the Ferrari. Now, attractive women do the same thing, even though I'm with my my angel, my baby girl, right? My wife, right? The one I build a life with. My eyes will still catch the chick in a short skirt. Nature, squirrel, squirrel. I mean, now it doesn't mean I'm gonna go after her. Like men admire Ferraris. That doesn't mean they want to be in the Ferrari or own the Ferrari or maintain the Ferrari, right? It's just an eyeball thing. Nature. Men are visual. They'll catch. So, ladies, when you're on your phone, you look like you're not interested. You don't care. You're not available, right? If you look up, you watch the man, the real man that are watching, because that's what they do. Boop, 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 right? And then if you catch somebody's eyes because he's looking and who's in the environment at the car wash for 45 minutes, it's a perfect setup. Or anywhere you're standing, men are standing and watching. Real men, not the boys. The boys are on their phones too, right? Like so, catch their eyes, and you'll lock eyes on them. Throw him a smile. And if he's a man, and you find something interesting about him, chances are he's going to come and say hi. That's what men do.
Wow, back to the basics. Back to the basics, and I think
That's
you've hit on a couple of really, really good points. Um, because we are always on our phone on the dating app while we're
in
behind
public.
Starbucks. We're always on our phone, and all we're getting are hearts and happy faces. And what can we do with that?
Nothing.
I also wanted to back up to a point you made earlier where you said about how women provide old photographs. Um,
Yeah,
and and I just wanted to say that men also do this. It's really annoying.
boys,
Please
boys,
do
boys,
that.
boys, boys
They're
do this. Men don't do that.
boys do
Boys, they're trying to impress you with their prettiness and all their fakeness. That's boys. That's not man. Sorry.
right.
You see
And
it?
such a good distinction to just bring our awareness and acknowledge that it's boys on dating apps. Otherwise, you could go through 10, 20, 30 boys or that are pinging you, and
Yep.
you start thinking all men are the same, like they're all like can't
There you
even,
go.
right?
There
And
you
that's
go. There you go. That's the obscenity of all this, right? Because you think that's men. That's not.
okay, so those aren't real men.
No.
Okay.
They
So
don't
really
step
important.
up. They don't go. They don't hunt. They don't come and get you. They don't say, "Hey, I've never seen you before." You know, something about you. You want to go for coffee? Boys don't do that. Men do. It's so simple,
Bring on the real men.
right? Like I said, women say this all the time. We're all the good men. And men say the same exact thing. We're all the good women. They're all stuck up. They're all shallow. They're all disconnected. They're all on their phones. They don't care. If they don't care, like why should I care? Like if you're not open to bring a man into your presence, men get it in 2 seconds. You're not available. You don't care. You're not present. You're not interested. 2 seconds looking at you. The vibe says no. Got it. And you're like, where? How come I'm lovely, I'm beautiful, I have money, I have everything? How come nobody's asking me out? The sign says no, not available. You might not mean to send that signal, but it happens all the time. Not available, not interested. I'm on my freaking phone all the time. Now, again, if you start paying attention, you'll see boys on their phones too. Boys don't make eye contact. Boys don't look up. Boys don't look at you, smile, and go hello. They look on the floor or on their phone. It's really 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 obvious in my world because that's what I do, obviously, and I test this everywhere I go. I go to the gym every day, right? There are men, there's guys, and there are boys. How do I tell? Men will look at me and go, "What's up?" They see me coming down the hallway. As I see them coming down the hallway, because there's also a caveman thing of being aware of the people in your space constantly, right? The natural masculine is always scanning. I just said that earlier, but always scanning for who's around me, who may be dangerous, who can whatever, right? So coming down the hallway of the gym, men will look at each other, make eye contact, and go. You get a what's up, a head nod, or how you doing. That's man, right? Guys start getting shifty a little bit, right? Sometimes you'll catch their eyes, because they're not too sure, they're a little insecure, and boys are literally on their phones or looking like you don't exist. Like happened twice yesterday. The guy, like literally, the hallway is 4 feet wide, and I'm coming the other way, and the two young men, separate times, walk like look straight ahead like I did not exist. That is not masculine. That's what's out there. That's what's on dating apps, right? So again, where the good man? Well, the good men are looking, but you're not paying attention. I get that all the time. And or get this, women will pay attention when they're hunting. So
Right.
right, like when women are hunting for a man, now they're starting paying attention. Except you don't get to hunt a man. Nature again. I'm sorry, people can go off all they want. Nature is no. He's the hunter, right? And you're the huntee, right? Like so. Get this. I want to be crass. Sorry, right? But he's the sperm and you're the egg. If you go after him, you're the sperm, making him the egg, making him passive, and that's the disaster in the making. So back to basic. Let the man be the man, and you don't go hunting for man. You make yourself available and open to men around you by smiling at them and looking at them. An invitation of loveliness, not a go up to him and say, "Hey, dude, how you doing?" That's hunting, right?
Oh,
So the feminine doesn't hunt, the feminine presents. Back to nature. I'm
I love
sorry,
that.
but
I
that's
love
factual. That's factual. That's how it works. So women will actually pay attention, get off their freaking phones when they decide they want some company, and try to look at this. Look for a cute guy, tall and cute, tall and cute. And if you had the car wash, hopefully with the BMW. Well, get
Man, I'm
this.
down to the
But-
car wash right now, Andre. I gotta go.
I know, right? But get this though, right? Like, get this. True masculine pick with their eyes. Masculine men pick with their eyes. Men are visual, right? But get this. Masculine women also pick with their eyes. But pretty men who are pretty, are not masculine by nature. Like the woman is a fair sex, not man. But in our culture, because we have women being so masculinized that they hunt like men at men who make themselves pretty to be hunted on. So men now, boys, not men, but boys everywhere in our culture are presenting. They're pretty, right? They have their hair done, they have their eyebrows done, they got their nails done. They have a little six pack. Like they're basically presenting a
Like,
sexual object, like women do in nature. Come and get me. Look, I'm pretty, right? And the women are hunting. So get this: when a woman picks a guy with her eyes, she's actually masculine. Because the natural feminine, well, I guess your eyes to go up. Did you hear that? When a woman picks with her eyes, she's the man.
she's using kind of a masculine energy.
Straight up. What is it? Okay, here we go. So this the flip side. What is a feminine woman? How does a feminine woman pick a man?
Well, what I hear you saying is a feminine woman is going to open herself, present, present herself organically, naturally,
Right? Being yourself available to be
make herself
approached.
available. Phone down, please, ladies.
But invitation is the eyes and a
The-
smile.
oh, okay,
Not
so
not talking. Talking is masculine.
oh, so
Talking is masculine. You don't talk to the guy. You don't approach him. You invite him. This feminine. But get this. So if men pick with their eyes, natural man,
yep.
man, right? How do women pick men? Natural women. Tick, 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 tick. I'm waiting for you. You're not gonna get there. It's okay. It's not
Yeah,
common knowledge.
car
What's that?
by their car.
Nope. That's your eyes again. That's your eyes.
Maybe by their energetics.
Not quite. Simpler than that.
Oh,
A
it's not how.
woman, a natural feminine woman picks a man with her ears. What he says, his character, what he's about in life, his value system when she's listening to him. She doesn't care that he's 6'3" with a six pack. That's a pretty boy. Those are the guys who don't commit. They play with women. The guys who are less swag, whatever you call it, right, have character. Character is what they say. So feminine women listen to men speak and filter the character. I'm looking for a good woman to marry. I want to build a family. I want 2 kids, and I want her to stay home, when we have the children. Oh shit, that's interesting to the feminine. Doesn't care that it's not 6'4".
Okay, we need to
Uh,
stop right there.
sorry, did I go too far?
I would love to hear that from a man.
This is huge.
Very proud.
This is the machine of life. This is nature again. Go ahead.
Well, it just seems like men aren't saying that anymore. They're not
Saying what?
exactly what you just described, that any woman would love to hear with her ears. Any woman would love to hear. I'd like to build a family. I'd like to have a relationship. I'd like you to stay
That's
home.
not true. That's not true. Right now, again, it's not about you. They'll say it in conversation. Like when I say to ladies, is when you start dating, I call it duty dating. Like you don't have to date. You don't date guys that you think you have potential with, or guys that you're attracted to, or guys that you think that one I could be, take it, impress my friends with, right? Again, if you if you pick him with your eyes, you're making a mistake, typically, right? So, but when you date men, all types of men, short, tall, less short, less tall, a little bald spot, a little pot belly, eyes too close together, right? Like the normal looking guys, there's a lot more normal looking men than there's handsome men. And handsome men make a living at getting away with murder and dating multiple women and never committing. That's the problem with that. That's why you don't do this. The guy that you want, everybody wants. And that in that he's not committable, and his job is to have fun with women and never get away with murder and act like everything that you hate about man, and you date him thinking he's going to commit to you. He's a boy. He's not interested in that. He wants to play. And then you think that's all man. Okay, so I just went off. So sorry. Right? So,
But
but
really good to invite our audience. Like once you can bring your awareness to that and you can become aware of that, then you can recognize it when you go out into the dating world.
yes,
If you're unconscious to everything that Andre's saying, everything that you're saying, then you just keep spinning out, spinning out. That's why
and
I
you'll
think what you're saying is really important.
yeah, and you'll blame men for this while you've actually fallen for the game.
Or
You've
been
fallen
a
for the game, and then you blame men for this. They all cheat. They all lie. No, those are boys. Men don't do that. So my point is, I was talking about duty dating. Duty dating is dating, being in the company of all men. Anybody looks at you, I don't care what he looks like, unless you creeped out. This is a very big deal, right? You have a radar. Creepy. So unless your skin crawls, the guy says, "I want to go for coffee with you." You go for coffee with the man. Because when you go for coffee with a man, you're gonna have an exchange. You're gonna sense him, this conversation. But you men, when they meet women, they'll naturally want to impress you. So they'll take you somewhere nice, for blah blah blah. Right? That's sort of if they're masculine, if they're men, and they will show. You don't have to. They're not gonna sit there and go, "I'm looking for a wife. I want to be too." Right? But you'll being in their presence, their value system, if you listen for what he's saying, behind what he's saying, they typically reveal themselves completely in conversations. And this is when you pick up the fact that he's looking for a wife, not looking to have fun. Like he'll say this, right? Like in conversation, right? And so, as they ask you questions, it'll come back to him. Like if he says, "What are you looking for?" "Well, I'd like a long-term relationship." "So do I." Oh, there he goes. That's the way he is. That's who he is. That's what, like, it comes out, right? So my point is, you will start catching who he is and his value system and what he's up to, what he's looking for, just listening. So the guy who just wants to have fun will say stuff like, "Yeah, I don't want to date anybody. I don't want to get married. I just got off a relationship. I just want to have fun." Well, if you want to have fun, go ahead and have fun. But if you're looking for to build something, you go, "Thank you so much. I think I'm done with coffee. I need to go back to the office." Get your ass out of there because you're wasting your time. Unless you
yeah.
want to have fun with them, go ahead. But like the high, not knowing this thing, when you pick men with your eyes, you're picking the 10% that everybody wants, and these are the guys who do everything wrong because they don't have to do everything right. They actually, like women, like beautiful women, that spend their lives on using their looks to get ahead and get all kinds of goodies from everybody. Whatever, it's fine, it's okay. But that's not what works. What works is the other 80% of the men who actually have character, who build their lives, who build their business, who build a mission, a passion, who discipline themselves to get there, push through their fears in life, push through their crap, conquer themselves in the business world. Those are the guys who marry. Those are the guys who want wives and kids. Oh, but he's not 6'3" with a six pack. Well, 6'3" and six pack don't work like that.
Right.
Sorry,
I hear it.
sorry,
You're saying.
sorry, ladies. So get real, and get over yourselves. I want to say because everybody is so arrogant into he needs to meet me up here, but typically it meets me up here like in a superficial, shallow way, and that doesn't work. Like not meet me up here. Like when women say to me, like he needs to meet me up here because I'm powerful, I'm strong, I have business, I blah, right? He needs to meet me up here. Well, typically that overpowerful meet me up here type is masculine, which doesn't attract the masculine man. You attract the boys, and you think that's man. Problem number one. But when you say meet me up here is such an arrogant, out of whack. How does that attract a man? Men want women to be men want to date women because it's fun, it's comfortable, it's easy, it brings us out of our heads. We get to like stop being in our heads and working and pushing in life and just enjoy the company of a warm, radiant woman. That's what men want to date. Hey, meet me up here. Okay, put your balls down, put them in this drawer, right? My point is that doesn't attract men.
It shuts down their energy. It shuts down
It's just neutralize them completely. They want nothing to do with you, right? So when women all say like meet me up here, I have standards. Of course, that's beautiful in itself, but the women will say this out loud, completely over the top, and they demand men to treat them just the right way, but they won't. The demanding of what that means, right? And often, I'm sorry, I'm going to be crass again, but the women say, "Meet me up here," and I go, "Well, what do you have to offer him for him to meet you up there? Because your ass ain't going to do it. Your ass ain't enough, right? It's not your ass the men are after. Okay, here goes. I think I dropped that line on you last time, right? Men marry virtue, not vaginas.
Right. I've got that memorized now.
Remember
Men
that, right?
virtue. So right. So what are our virtuous offerings back to the man? And I think that's a great question because sometimes we forget that it's a give and take and the balance there.
Right. So, what is it that men need to meet you up there? That's the question, right? Not because you're sexy, not because you have money, not because you're hanging out with you're scantily clad and attracting all the attention. That's one thing, but that's not why men marry you. Like I said, when I say like your ass ain't gonna do it, because sex is cheap nowadays. Everybody's having sex, right? Back in the days, part of the mechanism of life, culture, society, marriage was women didn't have sex with men. And in order for them to have sex with men, the guy had to prove himself that he was a good guy, a provider, he was solid, he had a plan, blah, 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 right? And then women would go like this, go ahead and impress me, right? And then they didn't sleep together, they did, but like on paper, most people like did not sleep together pre-marriage because he had to really impress her with the fact that he could provide for her offspring. Women would just wait, right? By the way, again, it's nature, right? The lions do the same thing. The lions, the same thing. The guys make fool of themselves trying to show off for the female for the alpha male to get her, right? But she's watching them fool themselves and compete with each other until he kicks everybody's ass. And now she's like, "Yeah, you come here," right? So women back in the days, that was the paradigm. You didn't have sex. You don't give away your currency because that is your currency. Your body's your currency with men.
I love that.
It's true. So when you give away your currency, you become not valuable or not as valuable for men. So in our culture, women give away their bodies. Men don't have to do anything, prove anything, build anything to get laid. So they don't. And they don't step up because, again, if you're going to play free wife, free girlfriend, and him have to do nothing necessarily to impress you, to show he's a good guy, that he's capable of something and take care of you, why would he step up? Why would he commit? Why? It's unnatural. Do you see it? And again,
Yeah,
everything I'm teaching you is nature,
I
right?
see it. I see it. I
Oh, okay, your turn. So sorry you get me going. So good. You get me going so good.
like
Woo!
women's lives out there. So I love that our body is our currency
It
and to give
is. It is.
it away.
You give it away. Where's your power, right? Men will
Exactly.
kill themselves to prove that they're a good man, to impress a woman that they can respect, a virtuous woman who they can trust. Okay, here it goes. Here goes the caveman limbic brain of men. They don't know this. It's not a thought process. It's an instinct, right? That if she's not virtuous, right, then I can't really trust her. Why would I build a life around a woman I can't trust? I'm not gonna. So they'll sleep with you happily and they move on.
Absolutely. And I would say since last podcast,
Yes.
I and you shared this about just keeping your currency that when we do that, we kind of get to step into our power as women and keep our power, keep our agency when we say no.
Yes.
And the reason why I know is I live my life totally online, Andre, and
Yeah.
I love it. But so after our podcast, I went out on a date, and lo and behold, this guy wanted to sleep with me, and I said,
Of course.
"Watch this podcast with Andre and Barbara."
uh,
Really, I just said no, and I felt so empowered.
there you go.
Felt like this great boundary around,
Yes.
and it was awesome.
Again, and the guy who just wants to play with you goes, forget you. Fantastic. Unless you want that. But if you try to find a guy who wants to build, the moment you say, I need to know, a little bit more about you, and if this is going to go anywhere first, because I don't do that, right? You just
Simple.
go boop. You go up in his on his radar with like virtuous, trustworthy woman with clean boundaries for herself. Wow, that's sexy. You just got sexier.
Yay!
He'll
Yeah.
test it, right? Part of it is a test. If he gets lucky on the first date, he'll tell all his friends he got lucky. Will not say anything about you. Like she was an amazing. Just I got lucky. I got laid. Right? If you hold back and hold your value, you know what I mean, and your boundaries, he might say, to his friends the next day, like, no, I met this woman and she's solid. I'm curious. I want to know more about her. Like, why are we not doing this more?
Yeah.
Now there's a way, like I said, that people say, "Oh, you're trying to take us back to the '50s." No, I'm not. I'm teaching you what works naturally best for both men and women. This is not working. Right? The new way is a modern way that's somewhere in the middle. That's what I teach. That's what I'm advocating. Oof,
Mhm.
your turn.
And that really resonates with me because there's so much confusion in the culture.
Mhm.
And back to the basics, we just
You know,
back to the very basics so that we
I say
clarity. You're giving us clarity,
I
and I
hope
appreciate
so,
that.
but I always go back. It's interesting for me. It's always back to nature. It's not even like it's not a moral issue. Like I'm not a moralist. I'm a freaking coach, right? You want to have sex, go have fun, right? But don't blame men for not stepping up from there. You know what I mean? You give away your currency. They go, okay, next, right? Because their instincts still want something that is virtuous. That's just nature, right? So my point is, you could fight nature and go against it all day long. You could do whatever you want. Like I don't care. I'm not a moralist. You do whatever you want. But I know there's a price to pay when you go against nature, and this is what I'm trying to avoid for ladies or teach. Why isn't it working? This is why it's not working. You're going against what works naturally.
Mhm.
Interesting. So, you know what I mean? Like, so the idea of everything normal is now stupid and everything immoral, abnormal is now the new normal. Well, this is why we got here, right? So there's a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot that's classical and modern at the same time. What I'm telling you is go against nature. You could do it for a while and typically you lose. It'll cost you something. And like for me, have ladies, you know, feeling abandoned in the world and feeling neglected by men and feeling unimportant and not valuable, being hurt by this, devastated by this.
Mhm.
and trying to blame men on this. And I go, no, I mean, we're both guilty, right? But you're going against the current of what works, and you don't know your culture, your mother, your schoolings, your friends sold you a lemon. If you want relationships, that's a big lemon. You sold a terrible lemon. So
I exactly. I hear you. It's so true. So take responsibility and accountability for your part and
and
avoid getting sold a lemon. That's not a
but and
relationship.
it's so that means go learn what works, which is my work. Go learn what works because you've been taught does not work. It goes against what what works naturally better in nature. Again, if you want to build something, that's all I'm saying. If you want to build something, there's a way to do this that works.
Mhm.
But
And and just to clarify, to build something like a solid relationship,
yes,
a loving relationship,
yeah,
long-term happiness,
yep,
intimacy, and connection.
all of it, all of it. That's what I'm teaching. Like the how do you build a long-term, loving, healthy relationship? That's the paradigm of what I'm approaching. Whether you want to be married or not, not people don't necessarily want to be married, but they want a healthy, long-term relationship. Well, that's called building, right? And building, like building a house, you have to have a foundation. The foundation has to be solid. And what we decided we don't need foundations, so we build on sand, and they last a few years, if that, and it collapses, and you have to go build somewhere else. And what happens is people stop trying to build after 5 or 6 failures. They stop trying to build, so they resign themselves that men are all, women are all, and they live a life of isolations, not be able to trust, not be able to build, not believing they can, not trusting their own hearts, be able to pick a right partner. And men become hermits who scare the children in the building because they're so creepy. Because you, we're not meant we're not meant to be alone and isolated. So old men are creepy, scares the children in the building, and old ladies, live with 6 cats and are creepy in a different way. That's not living. That's not good. We're not built for isolation. We're not built to be alone. Like, both men and women die young when they're abandoned. But again, keep it, with this cultural belief that is completely not working, we're destroying long-term lives, and now that's not okay. So I'm here to sound the alarm. You can do whatever you want. You choose whatever you want. That's not my business. But know how dangerous, if you keep going with the cultural tide and the belief that is pushed out there, the price to pay is you're going to be one of my clients, and it may be too late. I mean, too late for children is for sure. Not too late for a relationship. You can always learn that
Yeah.
by going back into what men actually want from women. Something nobody knows anymore. Men do instinctively, but they can't explain it. But that's what we get back to. But a lot of times, how many women are devastated because they waited too long. They wanted kids. It was like something that they had in their bodies and in their souls since they were like young girls. They wanted children, but went into you go girl and not trusting men and giving their bodies away and never making that loop close. And now they're 40, 35. Typically my clients are 35 plus, right? They realize that now like now is now it's serious. Now it's dangerous. Now it's like they may never get the dream. They may never get the husband or the long-term relationship. And at 35, there's still hope of children if they had it in their heart. That's often when they come at me like, TikTok, TikTok. Now I'm freaking out. But past 40, and I hate to say this, and it's going to trigger some of your listeners, but it's fact is that at past 40, the chances of getting pregnant naturally is 5%. Your body
Wow.
starts deteriorating at 27. At 27 years old, your eggs start deteriorating. By 37s, then are worth harvesting for
That's
implantation. Do you
really,
understand that? So
I'm
now
aware of
there's
that.
yeah. So the idea of have kids later, have a family later, build your life in front of us like a man first. If you want children, it's devastating. And I could tell you clients after clients that I will never have children because they waited too long in the name of power, go girl, independence. That's good, but you want to pay that price. Ladies, this is where I'm sounding the alarm, right? If you inside of you somewhere know that you want to be a mother and have children, get to work, on this stuff. Get to work on understanding what men want and what makes them step up, right? There's 30% of the population now, rough numbers, that are boys that you can't count on. That will play with you, mess with you, you know, con you, wrap you on little fingers. They're narcissists. They know exactly what to say to get you out of your clothes and move into your house and drive your car and borrow money from you. They're never going to give back. Boys,
Yeah.
30%. That's a big number. Yet there's another 70% who are good potential, right? Like, man, guys who like wants to step up need the opportunity. And that's a different story a little bit. But my point is the numbers are good. There's a lot of shit, but there's actually double more good stuff out there. But what do they want? They don't want what you think they want. They don't want your bodies instantly. That doesn't make a man commit. Your body, your sex will not make men commit. It never has. That's the line. Men marry virtue, not vaginas. They need to trust that you're not going anywhere because you're mad at them. Right? Like that's the thing. So
Yeah, that's really important too in a day where we can just ghost people and
right,
disappear in a swipe.
ridiculous. That's
Hmm.
not human connection. Neither is a laptop, neither is online dating. Human connection is belly to belly, I call it. So you want to meet a good man, right? A good man, a man. You know what I mean? Go out in the world, right? Make yourself feel good because when you feel good, you radiate, right? Get off your phone, look around, because get this. This is so simple. This is so simple. I don't know why we have to make this so complicated. Freaking online dating. Are you kidding me? Nothing is more complicated to make anything happen. Be in the world, feel good, make yourself feel good. So whatever that is to you, it could be a million. But my wife is high heels. Put high heels on my wife, boom, 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 boom. She feels like a girl. Makes her feel feminine, right? She walks different. She carries different. She shines. I love it. She used to wear high heels to vacuum the house because it made her feel like a girl. Because she hates she hates vacuuming, right? But she knows what it does to her, right? For some women, is like getting their hair done or just doing your hair for the day, like feeling pretty, a little makeup, right? The right shoes, the right scarf, the right jacket, the right skirt, whatever, right? Anything that makes you feel good
Mhm.
makes you shine. Men are receptive to this. Men are looking for that shine, that radiance. So make yourself feel good, right? So when you go to the store, when you go to Starbucks, when you go to Whole Foods, when you go to Trader Joe's, when you go to Target, right? That you're not on your phone, that you feel good and look around. Who's looking and catching your radiance? So simple. Nature, right? You get this. Okay, here we go. Last bit. This is so
All
fun.
right.
This is so fun.
Can't
All
wait.
right. Ha. Geeks, types of men here. Geeks, dorks, and players.
Got
Geeks,
it?
dorks, and players
Uh-huh.
will side saddle you anywhere you are. They will come up to you without invitation. That's what I'm saying. They'll side saddle you, right? You're standing somewhere, a geek, a dork, or a player will go, "Hey, girl, you work out? This your car? I haven't
Right.
seen you here before, right?" They side saddle you. They literally lean on you, and it's always a shock, right? Like, what the fuck? You know what I
Little
mean?
quarantine, yes.
Right? Because as a woman, it's always in it, right? But you want to date a gentleman, right? Does anybody want to date a geek, a dork, or a player? No. These guys are clueless, right?
Yeah,
You,
they're
you
part of
want
that 30%, right,
they're
Andre?
part of the boys, yes, absolutely. Now, you want a gentleman? You want a gentleman, right? Here we go. Here's the big secret. It's so silly. A gentleman needs an invitation to come over. He needs an invitation from you to come over. So with this, what it looks like. They're always looking. Get off
Mhm.
your freaking phone. Look up. Another trick that I have is don't only look up, but like this is a little crass. I'm sorry, but I go look up and tits up, like straighten your back.
Oh, no.
I didn't say arch your back. I said just straighten your back, right? It kind of brings the girl present. And what it does is when the girls are present, when the back is straight and you're looking up, there's like, I'm here, I'm here. That's called presenting. I'm here. I'm not talking about pushing your boobs up, just straighten your back. Makes you look alive and present and connected and present, right? Which is the man I'm looking for, right? So look up. I'm here. I'm looking at all y'all. I'm looking at all y'all, right? And that's, I mean, what's going to happen is a gentleman who goes, whoa, whoa, this woman is happy. This woman is a good mood. This woman is present. This woman is looking. This woman is, right? Sort of like radiance, right? You catch his eyes, but he won't come over unless you invite him to come over. That's what gentlemen do. So an invitation is look back at him, you give him a great big smile. And you can think in your head as you're looking at him, I'm looking at you. Yep, this is for you. Yep, I think you're attractive. Yep, 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 yep. I'm right here for you. Whatever you think you have in your head, because that's going to transmit. Open, available, inviting. Feminine is inviting, right? The egg is inviting. The sperm moves. The egg is inviting. So all I have to do is, again, straighten up, look up, straight back, girls up, whichever way you want to say you want to put it. Look around, and a gentleman will catch your eyes, and you invite him to say hi. And a gentleman will actually come over and say, huh, I've never seen you here before. Well, yeah, I don't usually come at this time, but this is my store, or whatever the hell the story is, right? And this is what
Uh,
men do. Gentlemen need the invitation. It's so simple. And then I don't want to hear, because it's ridiculous, because I do exactly that with my clients, that there's no good man and nobody's asking me out. You're not paying attention and you're not inviting. You're not looking, you're not inviting, you're not making yourself available, and you're not radiant, right? When you go to the store and you're on a mission, right? That's a man on a mission, right? You're not trying to get, you're going invisible. There's a way of not being invisible. Do what I just said. And all of a sudden, men will not notice you. So the idea, my clients, god damn, excuse my French, but like, I had a woman that went to, she's 68 years old. Get this. Are you ready? Success story, right? 68 years old. Through
yes.
COVID, got herself really smart. Did I give you that example last podcast? Because I don't want to repeat anything. Do you remember? 68-year-old?
Yes, yes.
Do you remember?
I
So
think
her thing was,
it was
yeah. So just, I like her because at 68, right? You think at 68 you give up and you turn into Catwoman. She's like, I realize I have probably about 30 years to go and I'm not doing this alone. I want to find a companionship. She's been married, she has 2 kids, blah, blah, right? So, but at this stage in life, she doesn't want to be alone anymore. Way to go. She would never be able to get a second date. She went on 72, 73 through COVID, first dates, couldn't get a second date, right? So she's like, I think I'm doing something wrong. You think? Anyway, with that, I taught her all this. That men don't ask me out to have. Even I go online and we get it. She did. She wasn't doing online dating. She got herself into 3 local groups who get together on a regular basis. So there was actually belly to belly, which works, and she got like 2 days a week. 68, 68.
very inspiring.
Very inspiring, but she knew how to, she got herself in the presence of man, and she knew how to be lovely and use her eyes, right? Um, so anyway, 73 first date, never getting to a second date, and she didn't understand why. And I go, radiance, invitation, right? Be the girl, like you have to know what men want, you know. So now she had 4 marriage proposals in the past, I want to say 5 months. And she was, these are all very good men, but not there's things about them I don't want to deal with the rest of my life. I'm still looking for like the right compatibility. Beautiful, right? Now she's dating and making a decision per her choice, her life's choice, as opposed to desperation and loneliness and blah blah blah. So my point with all this is nature wants you to be inviting, and when you feel good, men see you. When you're masculine, you disappear. When you're at the mall on a mission, you disappear. You're not present. When you're on your phone, you disappear. When you don't pay attention, you disappear. When you're standing in line at Starbucks, looking on your phone or anywhere but the guy in front of you or behind you, just to look up and smile and say good morning. You don't say good morning. Let him say good morning. You use your eyes. You just an invitation. And the boy behind you will be on his phone. He won't see you. The guy in front of you might look at you, smile, and go good morning. Good morning. Or the guy at the table over there. You could throw a big old smile and see what he does. So it's not that complicated, right? But we make it complicated. So your turn. I'm sorry, I'm just going off now, but it's that you want a gentleman. This is what a gentleman needs. He needs invitation. He needs you to look interested. Your turn. Your turn.
Andre, time always flies with you. I
Ah,
want to acknowledge you. I want to acknowledge your passion and your expertise in helping couples reach the relationship of their dreams. Happy, intimate, connected relationships. And I so appreciated our time today.
me too.
As we think about closing up our conversation, I just want to invite you to share any final words, offer out a gift to my audience, or anything
Oh,
you like, Andre.
I
Tell
have
us how we can connect with you. Give
beautiful.
us your online dating profile. No, 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 scratch that.
No dating profile. So I have a gift for your listeners. Like last time, if anybody kind of resonated with what I brought forth, I'm. If you go to www.andregroupcoaching.com, it's a landing page that I created for anybody who wants to talk to me. And so if you go to that landing page, you click an hour VIP exploratory, I call it. And if anything, if you're curious to know more about what I do, and if you want me to help you where you're stuck, that call is fantastic. It's a gift for me to your listeners. And in that hour, we kind of peel back, and a lot of the work that I do is not only coaching, but it is a cleaning up of your baggage, cleaning up your nervous system of the injuries of childhood. Now, one of us gets out of childhood unscathed, right? And a lot of problems that I see with having a hard time connecting, building relationships is the decisions we made as young children. You can't trust man. People are dangerous. I'll be alone the rest of my life. I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable, right? For man is I'm not capable. I'm never going to amount to anything. All these things actually messes messes the quality of our lives. And in my world, with each one of my clients, that's where I start. We start with like what decision is in the back of your mind, your subconscious, that is probably stopping you from being able to create healthy connections. So that call within 15 minutes, we peel the onion right to the core of you. Like I'm really good at this, right? And then you kind of instead of so it'll be liberating. That call is liberating for anybody who's confused about why they're stuck or why they're in the loop, because we go right for it. And then instead of walking around with what's wrong with me, you go, oh, that's what happened. Which means that's why, oh, now I see it, right? So we understand the past. Now we're here. What's the future? What's the dream? And then I'll tell you there's different ways to work with me, to help you basically live your dream life, go after it, whether it's marriage or not, or you know what I mean? Just whatever you want. But um, that's what I'm offering. It's even if you don't work together, the call is for a lot of people life changing. Just understanding where they're stuck. So that's my offer to your listeners. It's on me.
Thank you. That offer is awesome. And I encourage everyone in my podcast community to book a discovery exploratory call with Andre Paradis. Reach out to him and reach out to me. And big shout out to everyone who has reached out or subscribed on YouTube. This video will be going up on YouTube, and Andre and I will both be responding to comments on YouTube. as they come up. We're very, very available, both of us. So check out this podcast on YouTube if you have questions. If there's topics you'd like Andre and I to cover in the future, we'd love to hear what you think about this podcast in the comments on YouTube. So that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining the Healing Broken Families podcast. Wishing everyone love, light, healing, and healthy relationships. Thank you for being here, for supporting the Healing Broken Families podcast and being part of this amazing healing community. I'm Barbara Pointe, a solution-focused life coach, divorce coach, and conflict resolution specialist. But I am so passionate about your awakening. I am passionate and so excited to welcome you to your own divorce awakening, to your own spiritual and soul awakening, because all is well. You know what? We are empowered to heal. We are empowered to heal. And your divorce, difficult, high conflict relationship, parental alienation, all of these things you will come to see them as a gift. You will come to see everything as a beautiful gift. So embrace the conflict, embrace the struggle, embrace the wound. I invite you now to please go to my website, barbarapointe.com. There are many free resources there for you, but a great place to start is download my ebook, Erased by a Narcissist, and then book yourself a free complimentary consult or connection discovery call. I will serve and coach you powerfully for an hour. Also, I invite you now to subscribe to my YouTube channel, make comments on these videos. I ask all of my expert guests to make themselves available to you and also comment your questions, your pain, your problems, and your thoughts, your opinions, your concerns. I truly, truly believe that we heal in community, and I welcome you to my community. So I'm sending you a lot of love and blessings. I've come to know that when you go through divorce, you truly need to be resourceful, strong, and supported. So it's an honor to walk this journey with you. Welcome to your awakening and welcome to your deepest, deepest